Hello and welcome. In today's video, I will be painting up a Gutrippaz model from the Aruk Worklands paint set. I felt that this one was fitting for Orktober or Aruktober, however you celebrate. I will be using a couple of extra items to make the process easier. The back of the box has your basic paint guide and assembly instructions. Now to see what's inside. First, we have our sprue with the minis. There are 3 bases included, one for each mini, one Citadel starter brush, for the paints, we first have Lead Belcher for the metallic bits, Mephiston Red, Oruk Flesh, Agrax Earthshade, which seems to have had a little bit of a seal problem, Stirland Mud for the base texture, and lastly, Steel Legion Drab. I will be using my pair of clippers to cut the pieces from the sprue, and my hobby knife to clean up the minis after clipping them. I like to use the flat edge of the clippers against the mini when removing them to make the cleanup easier afterwards. Using the blade of the knife, I clean up the excess bits of plastic and use the back edge of the knife to clean up any mold lines and smooth out any rough edges. Always be careful when cutting. Sometimes the small bits of plastic can snap off easily. I briefly thought about reattaching it with glue, but because I am not using glue on the rest of the model, I didn't think it was fitting. With Video Magic, the mini is primed. I am using a homemade wet palette. It makes the painting process easier in my opinion. I am also using a wine cork with sticky tack added to one end. I like this as a cheap and easy handle alternative for mobility and stability while painting. For the skin, I am going to mix some Steel Legion Drab in with some Oruk Flesh to create a darker shade. Unfortunately, there is no lighter color in this set to help highlight later on, so the base colors are going to have to act as the highlights. For the base color of the shield, I mixed some brown with the Mephiston Red. I took the shield portion off and attached it to the makeshift handle to make it easier, and then after I was done painting the inside of the shield, I reattached it to the mini. I then covered the rest of the shield with the dirty red mixture. After the shield, it was time to paint all the leather bits brown. And after all the leather parts, it was time to add lead belcher to all the metal parts of the model. The spear position on the model made it very difficult at times to keep the image quality from getting blurry. I apologize for any blurry parts that did make it through. I then added a quick coat of brown to the tactical dirt pile. The next step was to apply the Agrax Earthshade to the entire model. Luckily, the seal problem was very minimal. I kept having to remind myself during this that the Aurochs are probably pretty dirty and really don't care about being neat and tidy. I started off coating the model lightly, but then went over it again with a heavy coat of the wash. For highlighting the skin, I tried to keep the coverage to the higher parts to show the contrast away from the lower recesses. I think I overdid it a little too much on the back though and covered too much area. In hindsight for the leather, I should have made a lot of scratches with the brown instead of covering whole areas with it. I think that would have looked a lot better, but that is something I can try again later at another time. I was a little surprised though at how much I liked the look of the Steel Legion drab covered in the Agrax Earthshade. For some reason, I find that one to be quite the tongue twister. The shield was probably my favorite part of the mini to paint. I really like the toothy grin, and all of the details really make the red highlight cover pop. To apply the Sterling mud, I cut off a piece of sprue and used that to apply it to the base. After the base texture had dried, I covered it with a light brushing of the brown paint and then a heavy coat of the Agrax Earthshade. For the rim of the base, I chose to paint it red. I know this might trigger some people, but I really wanted the color to pop. I also just really like Mephiston red. And here's the finished model. For my first time painting an Aruck, it was pretty fun. I will have to paint some more again in the future. This was my first time painting something Orktober or Arucktober, and I'm really happy that I did. I hope this inspires someone to hobby. Thanks for watching.